All right, we're going to get started here. This is going to be pretty informal. We had a meeting last week, but it was in the daytime. There's only a handful of us here. And what we're trying to do is come up with an alternative to the parade. We feel that the parade, it's going to be too hard to get the kids to social distance. So we came up with this idea, not trying to copy Rotary Park, but kind of on that theme where we don't have a park that big, but if we could drive around our different parks and have different themes for you could take your kids or grandkids any day throughout the Christmas season, as opposed to if you're sick the day of the parade, you missed the whole boat. So that's what started it. And then I want to thank Linda Johnson for putting together these talking points, because I did take some notes last week. I don't know what I did with them. But some of this stuff that we had discussed, and I think one of the points you had made, Linda, was we do want to make sure that we do whatever we do really nice. So if we can only do half the parks, we'll tell everybody which ones are done. There seems to be quite a bit of enthusiasm from different organizations and businesses. So I know that Shoreline Boat Club is taking Rigdon Park. And you want to say what your theme is, Wayne, or?
Go ahead. Yeah.
They need a microphone. Hold on a second.
I really don't need one.
They can't hear you out
You
there.
do for the live stream though.
Yeah, this is
Sorry.
being live streamed. We did let the press know that it's going to be live streamed, so anybody that's at home and wants to see what's going on, and that's the problem with the live stream. If you don't use the microphone, they can't hear what we say.
Okay, great.
6?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's more than a city council meeting.
Well, hello to the 6 people online. We had a small little, just a few of us, and I think we decided on a Peanuts theme, Charlie Brown. Rigdon Park.
And the guy next to you is going to help us.
Yes. Yeah, Larry got voluntold here.
I am a member.
Yes,
So,
but he is a member of Shoreline
So are
Boat
you going
Club.
to have an ugly tree?
Yes, I'm in charge of the ugly tree. I have no idea what I'm doing, but,
I can make some ugly trees.
okay. Yeah, why didn't I put you in charge of that?
There's some laying around in Thornton Park.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I don't know, what else do they need to know,
Well,
Wayne?
that's all, basically.
That's
that
it?
We're going to be taking care of it. You want it done by, what, Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we'd like to be able to turn all the lights on the Friday after Thanksgiving like we normally do.
Right.
So that will be the plan. It won't be a parade with the grand finale, but
Hey, Wayne, how many trees are we planning on doing there? I mean, is it?
About 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
They're the smaller ones, though. We're not doing the big ones.
Oh, okay. That's my next question. Taller trees.
Yeah, well, they're not the biggest ones.
Yeah.
There's some big ones there, yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing the Catalpa trees.
yeah, and the power, we think most of the parks do have power at them. And if we're, we had $8,000 budgeted for the parade, so if we can use that to buy lights if we need them. But the LED lights take very little power, so we should be able to get the stuff lit up.
Dan, you guys do that in-house, and you'll have your guys come, people run the power to them or.
Right, Steve and Billy are right there, so that's who we'll deal with, to get the lights and that.
Hi, Mike. And then we also I talked with the carpenters, and if somebody wants a design cut out of plywood, we'll do that. We'll get the plywood, we'll cut it out. But as I tell everybody, I don't paint.
I already
So,
told them that.
so if somebody wants to build something, they have an idea. If I'm not creative, give me the sketch of what you want or draw it out and we'll cut it out for you and get it sanded up. And
You want to bring that to Steve, bring it to you, or
Either, we'll probably just use the Peltier, got the Sawzall set up. Anyone else got a park they want to select?
Iowa Soccer Club would like to do, I'm sorry.
I know, it's a change, but it is.
Yeah. Ottawa Soccer Club would be interested in doing Kiwanis Park, and clearly it'd be probably a soccer theme, but with it'd be Santa Claus being the goalie and a kid trying to throw a goal on him or something like. But that's where we'd like to be, and
Okay, and Steve, that'll be in conjunction with the lights that we already put up there? And so this Ottawa Soccer will just add on to. Does that work, Bud?
yeah, that works fine for us. Yep.
Anyone else? Well, the only reason I don't have the Jordan block on there, as of now, we're still planning on doing the Chris Kringle Market. And they're going to be, I think they were putting the poles in today, but they are putting poles in to light up the Jordan block with
Edison.
Edison bulbs. And then there'll be a big Christmas tree there. But I'd be surprised if they don't shut us down on the event, but that's the reason we didn't put it on there, is because as of now, it's planned to have the Kringle huts and everything.
you know, the Christmas tree is going up.
Christmas tree's going up for sure.
Mayor. I will add that Ottawa National Little League is going to take Varlin Park, and Ottawa Girls Fast Pitch is going to do some at Peck Park.
And do you have a theme already or no?
We do not. I think they're leaving the Varlin one up to me because there's not much area there except for our chain link fence on McKinley Road. Chief Rolson has an idea for Peck, but I think he's supposed to be sketching it out. The only other person that contacted me was, or talked, I think, to John Levy was Brian Huebner. I don't know him from Kiwanis about maybe doing the pit. We kind of decided maybe they'd do something at the new PIP park.
Where, John?
The PIP, the handicapped accessible one.
Okay.
They funded that project.
And they're a small group.
And who wants to take that?
Kiwanis Club.
Oh, this is good. I talked with Mike Rossblack from R&R Landscape. His daughter Lily passed away from cancer a number of years ago, and he does a fundraiser every year for St. Jude. And I talked to him about possibly doing like a Santa's workshop theme at Thornton Park. And just like Mr. Doherty, he said, well, what about the Jordan block? So Mike's interested in doing it. And he's got a buddy who's artistic that's going to help him with the creations. But I think I'm going to try to steer him to Thornton Park because it's such a big open area to work with.
Is there going to be power available all the way around Jordan Park?
Yes.
And what about Rigdon, same way, or it's only, Rigdon Park only has a small.
Regent Park is basically, we're gonna be working off the shelter in that area there. That's why I'm only doing 7 trees. Shoreline's gonna do 7 trees, the shelter. Then we'll have our theme, and then we'll be pulling a little power off the flagpole light too. So,
Well, the South County Cruisers would like to do one. We're not sure where though. We thought.
Well, the South County Cruisers would like to do a park. We were hoping that Jordan Block would be open. I thought maybe section. Because that's where we have a car show and it's close to downtown.
I'll check on that, Mike, and keep you posted as we go, but as of now, we have an agreement with the vendor who's planning on doing it. That they decided to do it long before all the COVID started going up, so.
What about the stage area? That's something, option there in the,
South of the Jordan?
yeah, just between the two ramps or the entrance onto,
That's got power there too.
yeah.
Seeing nods of heads.
What's that? Well, I don't know. Did you talk to Santa's representative? We can probably, if they want to do that and decorate that area, we could probably, if we have special guests the day after, we could probably set them up somewhere around, maybe not using the stage, but that would probably work.
Want to interfere with anything else going on.
Just one guest coming one day, maybe, if he's not in quarantine.
That would be terrible. Get up Christmas morning and there's a note. Sorry, I'll be back in 12 days.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not going to say who it is, but he's jolly.
5.
We have power out of Dayton Bluffs.
I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any. Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything out there.
Yeah, that way, yeah, we call it the last one, it was Rachel, there was no power then.
We definitely got some more parks available here. I mean, if anybody would like to do a small park or do a shelter, I mean, especially like Turnberry Park or something like that. Turnberry's not that big, but they got a nice little shelter, and that shelter would be shining towards, I don't want to call it a nursing home, but it's just a living,
Yeah, Heritage Woods.
yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have to do a lot, but still that would be kind of nice to do that little area there.
Anyone else got any ideas or?
Hey, Danny, I'm gonna do a tree by tree somewhere, so we'll figure it out later on. I'm gonna do one with some chainsaw hanging or something, you know. Of course, there's a chainsaw there. So we will plan somewhere. I mean, if there's someplace we think we need one, we'll blow it up, you know, so they can land airplanes in it, you know. But wherever that might be, man, I thought maybe we could do one at, we're gonna help Steve Kuhn tomorrow morning at the park downtown. But if there's enough there, we don't need to do it there, so. Maybe the better, all the tree come down, the better memorial, that was my plan, but I think we lost that big tree. We'll figure something out, though, later on.
Okay.
No, it's out of the way. You know, there you go, Jonesy, maybe that'll work. Wherever we're lacking someplace, we'll go do one somewhere, you know.
Did anybody reach out to Tony at Lions Club?
No,
I didn't yet. Had a couple other businesses call me. I'm assuming they're watching.
Okay.
But they're not here, to see what our ideal is.
I'm good. I'm a little late, I suppose, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought, well,
The press release was less than positive pushing this thing. But Todd's Facebook post certainly made up for that.
Well, and I was surprised. I thought, because the radio asked me quite a few questions about it after the meeting. And I actually expected they would have had somebody here tonight, but.
well, the radio station's kind of in quarantine right now.
Yeah.
The whole station, so. And Todd and I did go on the radio and promote
Right.
it.
Yeah, and Maggie seemed very positive
Yeah.
about it, so perhaps they're watching it and they'll give us a plug.
I think there's a lot of people
After of the memo.
After today's meeting, hopefully seeing some of the organizations that have selected parks and things like that, maybe it'll generate additional interest. But I really think that a lot of people don't even know that it's really going on, although we've talked on the radio and there's been a little talk on the.
I know we kind of missed the first meeting. Is it open, has it been suggested like a family could do like a tree, not necessarily a whole park, but like in memory of, or like a memorial tree? I think we should back up and talk about what happened at your first meeting, because I was wondering the same thing. Is there a name for it?
Yeah, I apologize. We weren't at the first meeting, so I don't want to backtrack, but I mean, there may be just like, just prime example, Tom Miller's family. They could maybe do a tree like Miller Memorial Tree. You know, that's just a prime example of a family that I could picture wanting to do that.
Last meeting was more of a brainstorming, and we really didn't get as far as, I mean, Wayne was here and then the Shoreline Boat Club stepped up, but we really didn't get to the point where we were naming. We just wanted to reach out and find if there was interest in the community to help us out. And so this meeting was set up to help organize the whole event for the
That's why I
season.
called your husband and volunteered him.
Yeah.
So no name has been selected for it, nothing official has been made.
The main purpose last week was to, the Special Events Committee was still hoping to be able to put on the parade. So we had discussed that, and I think that last Thursday, the decision was made that we're not able to do the parade. Let's invest the money in some lights and let everybody have their own parade through town watching this stuff. And we didn't get very far, but we did kick around some ideas with the Christmas themed Christmas movies. One of the things I want to have is on the Christmas Vacation one, when the lights finally go on and they flip the switch for nuclear power and the horns go. I mean, I've got an electrician working on making me a box, and I want that to go off every night when the lights come on. That's going on first. And then the other thing somebody brought up was the movie Elf. Santa's sleigh, because of that, everybody lost their Christmas cheer. You had to put a motor on it. Look that up. It's a Kringle 3000 500 reindeer power jet turbine engine. And I took a picture of it off the movie last night and sent it to my sheet metal guys, and they said today they're already working on it. So they're working with the electricians to have red lights in the back so it looks like the turbine's going. And one of the things I thought we could either have a sleigh with that on it or buy it, or the other thing I thought in that particular movie, it falls off Santa's sleigh. And I thought maybe that'd be something that we could move around to different parks and then put the word out that Santa lost his jet turbine and need you to go out and look for it and call and get it retrieved. That's as far as I go on creativity. I need some artist people and
Is there a name that we can associate it with the movies, or I think the event needs to be more than just Ottawa lights.
So do we have a name that we'd like to put out there as the event name so we can start talking about it? And
Sounds like the Charlie Brown and all of that.
you know, the themes have been about movies
So far, is there a name?
associated with that.
Let's light the park. Or something of it. Connect Ottawa with it or something in some way, put Ottawa in the name.
Well, the parade we used to call the Festival of Lights, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we just still call it the Festival of Lights, just leave the parade off? Just going forward, hopefully we'll be able to get back to normal and,
And
hope.
in conjunction with the parade.
yeah. No, there's not going to be a parade this year.
No, going forward.
But if this goes well, I would think if we already invested the money in lights and we have people that are willing to do it, they'll do it again next year. And if we're able to do the parade too, everybody's happy.
So it's still called the Festival of Lights, and maybe this year we're just decking the parks.
Right, if you look at Linda's third one, City of Parks Festival of Lights, that would just be the easiest.
I like that for parks. I don't know about city of the parks. Army of the parks.
I have a question. Where's Hollywood Park?
Hollywood Park's down there just behind Sam's Pizza, half a block.
Oh, okay.
Be a good place to put something down there. There's a shelter too.
Most of the parks, if they have a shelter, there's power at them. Am I right on that, Jonesy and Steve?
And there's actually a lot of kids in that area too.
That's a nice playground there. You
Yeah.
got down there. It's nice.
It's more of a playground and,
Yeah,
but it's
nice.
nice for the kids.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that was Hollywood.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Adam first for the one?
Okay, what else we got?
So the name was decided.
What'd you decide? Marla, what'd you decide?
Festival of Lights, right?
Or, I mean, I don't know, if you guys like Deck the Parks, That's fine.
We could just call this year's campaign is Deck the Parks, because we need to do something
Right.
different, you know, we gotta change it up.
Always add on next year to.
Yeah, so we need Ottawa to deck the parks, is what they're looking for. That's what the city of Ottawa has asked us to do.
Todd Conroy must be one of the guys watching online because he just sent us a message. Operation Christmas.
I think there's a component to, when I was thinking about Ottawa, is there's a lot of pride in each area of Ottawa. So I think that if you went to, and one of the things would be the west side. There's a lot of pride in the west side. You contact just a couple of neighbors on the west side, they would make that happen. So again, as we reach out and we say it doesn't have to necessarily be an organization, it doesn't have to be a business. It could be the neighbors, it could be for a memorial, it could be that I could see people coming together. So I think if we just kind of broaden our scope and put that in the newspaper, put that on the radio stations, I think that could help as well. So that was another thought. One of the other ideas that I kind of threw out there was it would be to have kind of a Kodak moment or that selfie moment at each park. You know, similar to what you said, having that piece that they had to look for, whether it be reindeers, oh no, Santa lost his reindeers and you got to find the reindeers. Maybe it's a holiday postcard that the family can get in, you know, it's just a big frame and it says greetings from Walsh Park or greetings from Varland, you know, something like that. And then they could post on, you know, different websites and things like that. But I think there's a lot of different things that we could be doing. And
What would be the restriction with the cold stuff? You have to follow
Well,
around, you know what I mean?
again, you'd be with your family doing it. So,
I don't know, it's crazy.
yeah. So I would think, you know, that you could do that. I don't think it's all fair.
Small family photo.
Yeah, exactly.
60 people, well, it's grabbing in a selfie.
Right.
Yeah.
Still.
That is very good point. Or, you know, that's the next week.
Good idea.
Did we pick a name?
You did, and then Todd maybe.
Natalie and I are here to represent the Ottawa Sunrise Rotary. And this will be our 31st year to collect toys for the Toy Float. And since it's not going to be happening, we'd like to try and still be able to do that for the community and to, give all the toys and books to the Salvation Army. So, we were wondering if we could, still do something like that. I think Linda, you said that Joe Walsh was interested in helping out with that, so, like to still be able to do that. So,
Yeah, when I got that email, my first comment was that I think that this year more than ever, kids need to be getting something at Christmas. And it was just a coincidence that Linda had called me about a week ago, looking for a project or something, and I can't remember what we were talking about, and she said, we could do something at the dealership. So then when your email came, I said to Shelley, I go, maybe, because he's got, I would assume we could drop off at any of the businesses. And
Right. We have a couple places, some of the members offered to have drop-offs also, so, yeah, but we really want to be able to, continue this for the community.
and then do you need a place to wrap them?
No, because what we do is we take them to the Salvation Army unwrapped, and then they distribute it to the families that have already signed up.
Okay,
And it's toys, books, even monetary donations or whatever, but, the need is really there.
no, I think that all those pieces were falling together, and can't remember the last time I talked with Linda. It was like a week ago. So I know where we're sending them. That worked out good. And thank you to the Sunrise Rotary.
We've got potentially the Joe Walsh locations and then our members' locations.
Right. We were looking for maybe the last weekend in November and the first weekend, Saturdays in December. Maybe we know we can do it at Farm and Fleet, but we were, hoping to have another spot that we could do like from 10 to 2. People could come in and drop off toys or books or whatever. So we're still trying to find some place. We're thinking maybe along there in Washington Park area, but I don't know whether that would be feasible, whether we could do that or not. Is there any problem with that?
What about the Jordan Walk?
Well, it'll be, Chris Kriegel might be there that week.
So you're looking at, you want to use basically the north end of Washington Square, correct?
Wherever we could, just like for 4 hours, we have a display and some boxes for the toys and the books.
We just have to put up a couple signs there for a drop off, but I mean,
That shouldn't be a problem.
no, it should work out.
Cool. All right, thank you. So, yeah. So we'll get going on that. Thank you.
What else you got, Mayor? Well, one thing we should do though is make sure that we bring this out for any group that goes out and decorates, though we should make sure that, the social distancing, safety precautions, try to wear a mask, do what you can to be safe. I've seen something in there about somebody worried about us being with somebody else or people decorate stuff like that. Most of us in our groups basically hang around together anyway and do things together. But I think we should try to do as best we can for decorating and stuff like that to make sure that we are trying to social distance and keep healthy. So,
Peggy?
Streeter was looking to revamp its system as well. And they thought that they would have like a punch card. So if people went to the different parks, they could get the card punched somehow. And then they could come enter that in like a drawing or something. I think in decorating the parks is fine, but I think we need to drive people to the parks and maybe give them something, give them encouragement to go out to the parks and visit. We're expanding and we need to get people used to that big expansion.
I don't know how would you do the punch card thing though?
You'd have to have somebody at the park.
Kind of like when they had the passports.
Yes.
But that would give people some additional encouragement to go around and go to more than one park.
Maybe we could do a barcode scan, you scan it with your smartphone, say you were there, and drop it in.
Snap a picture and post it.
So
Dan, is Todd volunteering for this in this text message?
I like the idea.
Hi, Todd. So Todd's idea is reindeer somewhere, Santa somewhere, the sleigh somewhere, the toys somewhere, and the motor somewhere, and put them all together Christmas Eve in one park maybe. So Todd, you're in charge of that.
It is, it's a cool idea.
I mean, we gotta remember, this is the first year we're gonna try this. I mean, this could actually grow. And besides having the parade, which I'm a very good fan of having the parade, because I was the guy trying to fight to keep it, but even though I knew that we couldn't do it, but still, this could work out to be something really, really nice in the future. So, I mean, and especially next year, if we actually got some shot or we got something or other that we could actually go out and actually do things. So, I think this would be, this is something for the future too. This is the beginning of a new thing. So, I mean, the Christmas parade started a long time ago. It was basically back in the early 80s, we started doing that. So, I mean, you never know what can happen. So, people might really, especially this year, I think they would enjoy it because there's not much to do right now.
Well, and the other thing we talked about briefly at the first meeting was years ago, somebody used to do a contest and there was prizes for business, religious, and I think residential on decorations. And I kind of thought maybe that was the newspaper, but nobody could for sure remember.
I think it was. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Did you? Anyone else?
The only other thing that I want to mention is because Fox River Park was pretty much devastated, I would love to see, I mean, there's still a lot of good trees down there. There's a good space. It's a good drive-by, and no one's obviously picked it. But maybe everyone be thinking about maybe who we could reach out to help us decorate Fox River Park, because I think that's it would be a great drive-by. And I mean, we did lose a lot of trees down there, and yeah, I would like to see something down there. And if no one steps up, Steve, guess what?
What are people's thoughts about asking people if they have, the big plastic snowmen and things like that are just taking up space in their garages and they're no longer using? that something that,
You think would be worth to ask? Are we keeping it all LED though, I thought, so keep,
I couldn't hear you.
are we keeping it all LED, are we gonna supply our?
Well, the lights, I think the city's gonna provide so that we make sure that they're quality that we want and
absolutely.
all the same. As far as if people have decorations, I think it'd be fine for them to offer them up to whoever wanted them. But I don't want to get to where we're micromanaging and telling everybody, hey, here's 3 snowmen, fit them into your plan. Come up with your plan, figure out how you want to do it. Certainly if people have stuff they want to donate, they can make it available and we could share that with everybody.
Well, we were basically looking at just taking the lights for the trees from the city and bringing in our own lights and stuff like that to decorate the shelter and stuff like that. And since somebody's gonna do some cutting out for us, a couple little things, and we're paying them. But, you know, that's what we figured, that's how we would do it. As long as we had the big lights for the trees, to light up the trees, that would be, I think that would work out pretty good. And like I said, we may do around the shelter with our own lights and stuff like whatever we have available.
Is everything gonna be approved by somebody, or we're just got the free will to do whatever we want? I mean, I would think somebody would have to have some kind of guidance, I would, you know.
Yeah, I think we would probably want to have approval. I would hope that everybody's going to do right things, but we would have to be careful that we're not offending anybody, and then so we would have to approve it. And you know what I was wondering, should we send something around to everybody, put their name and
Yeah.
email?
I can.
And we can keep everybody in the loop as we go forward. Larry, I know you don't do email.
Let's go listen. Guys, I know.
I asked Shelley for your email and she said, I'm trying to get it. She goes, I texted him and he said he doesn't know what it is. And I go, well, you must not read it then.
Yeah. Got to figure out the order of his kids and All right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas movie, does it? Or did we decide that it has to be a Christmas movie?
No.
It doesn't, it can be whatever organization wants it to be appropriate.
Yeah, I would think most would do Christmas
Well,
thing,
yeah, Christmas.
but it's like the soccer club wanting to do soccer themed.
Right, because it's soccer.
If somebody wanted to do like grumpy old men, me and Larry could sit on a bucket.
That's pretty easy over there, Dan.
Anything else? Steve, you ordered some lights, right? But we'll have to probably order a lot more.
You have about 20 clear light, 20 fans, and 3 colors for them. As of right now.
But in addition to what we're putting up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, so like, I would like to buy my own lights. I mean, I'll use whatever vendor you guys have. Because if we do it next year, we have them, you know? That way if I decide to put a Christmas tree on a bridge or something crazy, you know, that I have them. Is that okay? I'll do that. I'll use the same lights. Well, I'll supply.
Yeah, that's, our only concern is to make sure that they're the heavy duty lights and the cords that we're gonna feed them with. We want to make sure that we don't have any electric issues.
And you want it to be LED?
Yeah.
I'll see tomorrow. You'll have something to talk about. Yeah, I'll buy some of my own. same ones we used last week. Yeah.
Vicky?
Will organizations be submitting this show and other description of their declarations, or do you want to go back?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. I'm hard of hearing to boot. And then
I
the
was just-
joke is I can't hear with the mask on.
Yeah, I can't speak with it. I was wondering if the organizations would submit something to Shelley, a brief description of their plans or what they're going to do, so that she could keep a running track of it.
Yeah, Shelley was going to be the point person at the city to answer questions, and if somebody says, that they want to go down there next Saturday and work on it, and they need something from the city, that she'll coordinate that and make sure that we have.
It also might be useful for them to have, instead of 2 or 3 word descriptions, so.
Right.
We can create a map, right? Everybody can follow this route?
Yes.
Yes.
John, you got any suggestions or?
No, I kind of balked at starting to ask the schools because of the COVID spike, and still not sure, but we have some businesses that are listening in, and so I'll still probably mention it if anybody wants us.
Okay. I think so. We're just getting everybody's email address. Yep.
He was just talking about the schools. When our kids were little, I don't know if anybody else remembers, the school used to send out like a cutout little guy, it was called Flat Stanley.
If anybody remembers Flat Stanley, and you had to take him on trips and write about his adventures, might be something kind of cool. We could cut out like Santa. Schools could put it in their packs that they pick up every week if they're remote learning, and the kids would be able to take Santa and write about his trip. Could be something adventurous for the kids to do to get them out of the house, and parents have to take them to all the parks. The adventures of whatever you want to name your cutout.
Yeah. So Marla, what do you Should we schedule another meeting, or do you think we're good to go? or-
Well, we might need another meeting, or at least, I don't know if it needs to be a
How
big
about
group
2 weeks
meeting.
from today?
The biggest thing is going to be the communication between Shelley and everyone and Steve to get lights and,
What's everyone think? Do you think we need to have another meeting next week, or 2 weeks?
I'd say 2 weeks from today.
And then anyone in the meantime, if anybody has
After
questions,
Sandy,
just
I'll take
email
Oh, they're those city.
Shelley?
those city.
and,
Okay. I can know where to find them.
Yeah, that's-
I know where to find you too. but-
you know, oh, that was Todd.
So, Facebook. Yeah. Because everybody, that's how Todd got it. We were talking.
Well, we definitely want to light it up on the Friday after, so I would say we'd want everything done by that Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
is Todd still listening? We're still live. So Todd, we need you to do another Facebook, Deck the Parks video to promote it. And we really do have to have them pretty much done the Wednesday before. So if anybody wants, the contact is Shelley, include that in the video, and then we'll communicate between me, Steve, and Jonesy and try to get everything kind of organized between all of us, right?
Yep.
And figure it out. It's a lot of work to do in a couple weeks.
All right, anyone else have anything? All right, well, thank you, everyone. Day after Thanksgiving, that alarm's going to go off with auxiliary nuclear.